Now, with the time at just 26 minutes to 1 o'clock, I've got a very special guest in the program talking about getting the lowdown. We're going to get the lowdown on a very interesting chap by the name of Yako. And he's, as I say, my special guest today. And he's a drummer, and he's played on drum tracks on, I believe, more than 45 albums, and has a new single out at the moment, which we will play a little bit later on. We have been playing it on this program. It's called Acceptance, and I'd like to give a very warm welcome to you, Evan. How are you this morning?
Thank you, John. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm really happy to be on your program. Thank you.
It's the pleasure's all ours, I can tell you. Now, first off, you've come here straight from a gig.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that first off?
Yeah, I was just at St. John's Park High School. So one of my gigs, I have a program called Healing Through Yako's Drumming.
Yes.
Work with kids from high schools. So I work with the Department of Education, do different high schools around Sydney. And today was graduation of Year 7 and 8 of St. John's Park High School. So we had to perform for their graduation. So went really well, yes.
Can you tell me, because I'm most interested in this myself, the philosophy behind the healing and the drumming, how that works?
So what happened is 6 years ago, about 7 years ago, I came with this idea. I've always had this idea since I was young, when
You're not that old now, tell you.
So, yes, I might be old. I look young, but I'm not. So what happened is... obviously, as you know, I'm a Syrian from Iraq, going through all wars when we were in Iraq. So the only thing used to make me happy when I was young was me playing the drums.
Right.
So I had always that on mind. So what happened is 6-7 years ago, I thought of the idea that, as you know, music, it's the most beautiful thing happening in the world of all time.
Yes.
So especially drumming, drumming therapy. It's we can go into it, and it's a big C. But what I said is, okay, I'm gonna write this module just for the young people that struggling with everyday's life of they have less confidence, or there's a lot of things happen, especially when you're that teenager. So I wrote the program it's about there is a bit of meditation part of the program. There is I call it there is a red energy and green energy in our bodies, which is red energy. It's all the anger, the frustration, the pressure, and the green energy is being happy. So what do? Part of the program, we get all our red energy out of the drums, playing the drums, and then because that drum sounds really beautiful, we'll get the green energy through our ears. So it's just changing.
Well, I can imagine with you drummers, that's a good way to get the frustration out of your body. That's for sure.
So you get all that red energy out. So I started it in Cabramatta High School 6 years ago, about 6 or 7, I'm not quite sure, but let's say 6. We started it with 10 students, and then after that term, the improvement of those 10 students I had were very, like the counselors and the principal of the school, they were delighted with the improvement. So second term went to 20 students, and then third term went to 30, and then the year after went to 2 schools, and then I'll end up having 7 high schools.
Right.
And it went really good. I won a humanitarian award in 2015, one of the best programs in New South Wales. And
I can see why they would have given you that. That's for sure.
Thank you. And it's been amazing. And for me, especially when I see young people changing through the program, when they come into the program and the end of the program, how big change. For me, it's priceless. It just feels so good.
Lovely.
And rewarding for the rest of my life. Each time, like today's performance, I could see all the year 7 and 8, the principal and teachers, the deputies, everybody, and the parents.
Yes.
They were looking just this 8 guys from year 7 and 8 performing, and then they can see the energy and the focusing, because the song was about almost 3 minutes. So for them to focus that, to play everything on time,
yes,
to memorize all different kind of rhythms from all around the world,
yes,
was just delighted, even for the parents. So it's
so
really
tell me,
nice.
are you self-taught, or did you have a teacher?
Well, when I was young, I taught myself, but when I came to Australia,
Yes. When did you come here, by the way?
I came to Australia in 1995.
Okay.
1995, we came to Australia from Greece. We used to live in Greece before we came, and we came as refugees.
All right.
To Australia, me, mum and dad, and my sister.
Yeah.
And when I came to Australia, I started performing straight away with local bands and all that, and then I decided to study. So my first drum teacher, it's called Mitch Farmer. He's one of the amazing drummers, Australian drummers. And then I went to a school, music school. I went for about 2 years and a half. I didn't finish it all the way, but I went for 2 years and a half. And then I met David Jones. David Jones, drummer from Melbourne. He's an amazing mentor.
Sure.
And I studied from him. So yeah, I studied when I was 22.
Okay.
But when I was young, now I just taught myself.
Yeah, was there something inside you that says, sort of, I'm going to play the drums? I mean, it's rather than I'm going to pick up a guitar or play the piano or something like that.
Yeah, as far as I remember back, since I was 9 years old, I just got up and this is what I wanted to do. And I always ask Mom, when did I start? Because I remember because you can't remember when you're 2, 3 years old. Mom will tell me, even when I was really young, I will turn everything upside down and start playing. So, I started really young age, and I knew what I wanted straight away. Like as much as I can remember, I knew this is what I want to do, what I'm doing today.
That's lovely.
And I know what I'm going to do for my life. After 20, 30 years, I've got it all sorted.
Yes.
If everything goes.
Yes. Now, I believe that you have an album that's going to be released soon. Is that true?
Yes. Album I was supposed to release this year, but as you know, with the recording and all that, and I'm a bit busy because I'm a producer too. I've got my own recording studio, Real Rhythm Studio.
Yes.
And what happened is I was supposed to finish it this year, but of demand of different artists working their albums, so I left my one at the end of the road. So I will definitely finish it early next year.
Yes.
And the album, it's called Inspirational Stories.
Yes.
It's about 11. I've got 12 songs, but I haven't decided if I'll release 12 of them or just 11.
You write all the songs yourself, do you?
Yeah, I composed all the melodies and all that. So, but I have different lot of amazing.
Can I ask you how the mechanics of that works with you being a drummer?
Yeah. So what happened is I get the melodies. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
And I just put them down in my studio. So I put the structure of the rhythm, because as you know, as a drummer, I will know exactly what I want from the song, and then I will sing them. I will record my vocal, all the melodies, all the parts that I want. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I play a few simple chords on the piano, and then I invite my colleagues, the ones they work with me.
Yes.
For example, in this album, I got on piano Lucio Vervandi.
I was going to say let's give them all the plug here.
Yeah, so Lucio was on piano, Julian Sanchez, Sharman Ford. So these guys are amazing piano players. So I will bring them to the studio. I'll tell them, okay, this is my structure, this is my simple chords. Can you add? Because I know what I want, I can hear them, but I'm not that professional in the piano playing to play them. So they will help me. They will say, okay, there's this combination of chords, this one, and then I will choose what I want. So this is how I do. And then after that, we'll get I'll get all. So the drums first. What I'll do, I'll put it just that like I program the drums just
Yes.
for them to understand what I want.
Yes.
And then when we put the piano, bass, guitar, and everything, and then at the end I put the drums. Last
Okay,
one.
Good. Now, I wanted to talk to you about the piece that we have been featuring quite a bit on this program
Yes.
called Acceptance, which
Yes.
is out for the moment. Now, how did that come about, and what does acceptance mean to you?
Okay. Well, acceptance that, as you know, all of us as a human being, growing up from young age to old age, we go through a lot of good times and bad times. For myself, I've went through good times and bad times, and you realize at the end to move on to the next step, you gotta accept whatever that happened to you, if it's good or bad. So some people they will get stuck to something that didn't work for them in the past, and then they will get stuck there, which is I always teach even my students. You just gotta move on.
Yes.
Whatever bad happens to us, it makes us stronger. So one day I was just thinking about that, and while I'm teaching to the students and all that, I said, okay, I gotta write song about this. And then if you hear the melody, and just think about acceptance, and there's a little bit emotional in the melody, and sometimes gets happy, and so that tells you, okay, whatever happened. Sometimes there's good times, bad times, but we gotta move on. Like what's happening now, everybody's freaking about COVID.
Yes.
Okay, one day it's gonna be a nice story when we're older, and we
Exactly.
can share it to our kids and all that. But we just gotta move on. We can't get stuck here and say, I feel bad for myself, and then.
Yes.
You're gone. So you just.
Well, I'm
gotta-
sure all the listeners now, myself included, will have an even closer listen to when we play this after Acceptance, after the interview as well too.
Yes.
Now, what else did I want to ask you? Oh yes, how many songs have you written then? You know, since you started writing, would you how many songs would you have written?
I have I would say maybe more than 20 that I wrote for myself.
Yeah.
But what I have done is for other people I wrote some. I can't remember how many for other artists and all that.
Oh, you're writing for other artists.
Yeah,
as well.
I write melodies for other artists. I've done
Nice.
that before. For myself, I've done maybe more than 20, 21. But for this album, I just chose these
Yes.
11
Yes.
songs. Maybe I will do 10.
Yes.
But for next album, I will get the other ones.
Okay.
For the next.
Let me ask you now. You've been on. You've performed on Australian television and American television as well. What are some of the programs that you've been on?
Yes, I've been in SBS, in Channel 7, Sunrise, and we've been in Fuel TV, American, and I've been in ABC program. So some of them, they were about my healing through Evan Yako's drumming. They came to the schools record. SBS was about this drumming too.
Yes.
So they came and did an interview with me about the program, and they showed. The showcase the students playing. And Fuel TV, I was performing with a very good friend of mine. He lives in Germany now. His name is Kel Taylor. Very amazing songwriter and singer. He used to live in Blue Mountains. So him and Jemima Craig, we did. There was I think there were the program was about. We were in Manly. They were about surfing program, so we opened.
That's a good place to have it. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
So we were right on Manly Beach.
Oh, nice.
The stage was there,
Yes.
and then that's what we did. Yeah, that was for the film.
Would you also like to mention the festivals that you've done as well? I see you've done Pete's Ridge, Blues and Roots, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've done a lot of festivals. As you know, as a session drummer, you perform with a lot of bands. So I performed with one of my friend Robin. He's had world music as a Duta band. We did a lot of festivals from Petridge, Folk Festival, and I did few festivals with Kel Taylor. National Folk Festival. We did the Blues Festival, and I did. a Moon Festival. Me and we had another band. So lot of festivals we did.
Right. Now, can you tell me who are your drumming heroes then?
Oh, my drumming heroes. So, obviously, first two I will mention my teachers.
Yes.
Which is David Jones and Mitch Farmer.
Yes.
And Dennis Chamber, American drummer. Steve Gadd. Love Steve Gadd.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
but I can sit here and...
Yes, I'm sure you can.
But the ones they just come to me straight away, obviously, as I said, my teachers, David Jones,
yes.
Mitch Farmer, Dennis Chambers, Steve Gadd.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Now, you've got a couple of lovely daughters, I believe, and you've given them some fantastic names, seeing as you are a musician. They're called Melody and Harmony.
Melody and Harmony, yeah. They're beautiful.
That's wonderful names. Now, are they what ages are they?
Melodies is going high school. Today actually was her year 6 graduation. She's going high school next year.
Okay.
And Harmony, she was in kindy, so next year she will be in year 1.
Right.
So Harmony's 6 and Melody's 11.
Okay. And are they involved in music at all? Are you going to get them involved? If not?
Yeah. Melody, she did piano since she was 5 years old. She did about 4 years she did piano. And she's a ballerina. Her and Harmony, they're really good dancers. So she chose to be she's more into dancing. Yes. So she chose to be involved more with dancing. And Harmony, she does dancing, ballet. They used to do flamenco dance before.
Oh, wow.
And now they're doing...
Do they get that from the mother? Tell me.
The mother, my wife, Dina, she's... She can dance. Yes, she can dance. She can sing. She's got a nice voice, but she doesn't like to do it. Yes, I think they got the dancing part. They got it from mom.
Yes.
The musical part they're
getting from you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, look, Evan, thank you so much for talking. Thank you for coming along to the program and talking with me today. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you'd sort of like to bring out that we?
First thing I would like to say thank you so much for your support and involving our local musicians to your program. This is a big support for us.
That's no problem.
And I just wanted to thank all the listeners and and I just wanted to thank all the guys that worked in my album, if it's okay.
Yes, certainly.
All the musicians, like the piano players, Lucio, Velvardi, Julian, Sanchez, Shaman Ford, guitarist Neil Ewell, Paco Lara. On saxophone, we had Andrew O, one of the best saxophone players in Australia. We've got Orget Sarko in clarinet and saxophone. We've got bass, David Quinn. Accordion, my dear friend, all the way from Sweden. Isha George. Trumpet, Alex Bad. I've involved some singers in the album. So we've got Jennifer Parker, Babke. We've got I'm gonna involve my dear friend from Chicago, Rachel Sarah Thomas, and I've got dear friend he sang a Spanish song for me, Sargon El Moreno. Krista Monica, the one she sang in Acceptance.
Oh right, yes,
and
of course.
My dear friend from Germany, Kel Taylor.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, as I say, for spending the time, your valuable time, and talking to us. Really do appreciate that. And we wish you all the best when you eventually do get round to recording your album as well. Maybe you can send that to me and we'll play some tracks from that as well.
Yes, I'll make sure I will send it to you first one.
Thank you so much, Evan. Thank you.
Thank you so much.